So I'm sure, as you guys know, there has been a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff going on in the NFL over the past recent week. And I'm going to get into all the transactions that have happened so far. There might be even more. They'll be down in the comments if I did not get them in this video. But of course, before I get into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, of course, for the first transaction, we have Russell Wilson being traded to the Denver Broncos. Oh boy. This is a huge trade. Now, of course, the Broncos will receive Russell Wilson in a 2022 fourth-round pick, while the Seahawks get 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a fifth-round pick, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris all in one deal. This is a lot. This is a huge deal, and I think it tells us a lot about both teams. The Broncos are obviously in full contention mode. They're trying to contend. They are trying to get Russell Wilson in so they contend in what is now a very, very stacked AFC West conference and division. When it comes to having quarterbacks, I mean, you have Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Derek Carr, and Justin Herbert all in the same division. That's going to be very exciting to watch. The Seahawks are likely now in a rebuild mode. It looks like that they are really trying to rebuild their team. I wouldn't be surprised if their head coach also had gotten fired. I do think he's a great head coach, don't get me wrong, but I just think Seattle's going to go for a different look. And speaking of a different look, going into number 2, the Seattle Seahawks actually released Bobby Wagner. Yes, this declares that they're going into full rebuild mode. Bobby Wagner could also change the linebacker business and market by signing a big deal. I think Bobby Wagner is going to sign a huge deal. I think he's going to have a great deal with maybe a contending team. There's rumors saying all of the rest of the NFC West teams are interested in him. Wagner is still very, very certainly a top 3 linebacker in the NFL as it stands right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up on a team like the Ravens, the Chiefs, or even the Buccaneers, or any other team looking to contend. It should be exciting to see where Bobby Wagner goes in probably the upcoming week or upcoming days, because this guy is a super talent. I would be really surprised if he stayed in free agent for any more than a week. Let's just be honest. Now, going into transaction number 3, Aaron Rodgers is now the highest paid player in NFL history. Yes, Rodgers will stay in Green Bay, sign a 4-year whopping $200 million contract, over $50 million a year. This is making Aaron Rodgers the highest paid player in NFL history. Green Bay seems very concentrated with trying to win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, a second Super Bowl under Aaron Rodgers. And of course, Devontae Adams was also franchise tagged, which we most definitely know plays a huge role into Aaron Rodgers' money and where the Packers are when it comes to trying to contend for a Super Bowl. Now, of course, going into transaction number 4, we have Mike Williams being re-signed to the LA Chargers. Now, I'm going to give you a little hindsight. This is not the first big transaction you're going to see from the Chargers. If you've seen the news, you already know. I'm going to save it for the end of the video. However, Mike Williams has re-signed with the Chargers. He's one of the best red zone threats in the NFL. The Chargers seemingly want to keep the young tandem of Herbert and Williams together. I do not blame them. I think those two complement each other very well. Definitely a great transaction. Definitely a great deal to get done out in LA for the Chargers. I wish them very well. I think Mike Williams is in for another great season. Now, number 5 is not really a transaction. It's more of a big news type of thing. Calvin Ridley has been suspended for at least the 2022 through 2023 NFL season for gambling on games. Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley has been suspended. He is also said to have been betting up to $1,500 on NFL games. No matter the amount, whether it's 5 or 5 million, this is very against the rules in the NFL, and the NFL obviously does not play with these rules. Calvin Ridley did tweet that he does not have a gambling problem. He did have the issue with his mental health earlier in the year, so without further ado, I'm not really going to comment too much on that. I wish Calvin Ridley the best. I wish that he can get this whole thing settled with the NFL, and I wish that he can get back on the field doing what he loves to do, I presume, which is football. Now, of course, going to number 6, Harold Landry, star edge rusher for the Tennessee Titans, has signed a 5-year, $87 million extension. The Titans still seem very hooked on contending. Harold Landry had a very great year. He actually had a career year last year where he had, 11 sacks. He went absolutely crazy. And the Titans, they're right for re-signing him. He's still young in his 4th year, I believe, just coming off his 4th year. Titans keep their best pass rusher. They seem very keen on contending. I'm really glad the Titans got this deal done. I think Harold Landry is in for a great career out in Tennessee. Now, of course, going to our next trade and transaction, Carson Wentz just yesterday was traded to the Washington Commanders. Man, oh man, is this a very splash, big trade, because I think this can have a huge impact on the future. Now, of course, going to the trade itself, the Colts get 2 third-round picks, and the Commanders get Carson Wentz. Pretty simple trade. The Washington Commanders look like they have their quarterback. I wouldn't say their quarterback for the future, because Carson Wentz is not necessarily a young guy, nor is he an MVP candidate like he used to be. However, they have a quarterback for this year. It does not look like Tyler Heinicke is going to either be back, nor he will be the starter. And, of course, the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, I think they will either draft or trade for a quarterback. They are really only a quarterback away, an elite quarterback away from being a very, very good team. Colts fans, I know you're still probably sad about the Andrew Luck situation. However, he retired. That's over. I think the Colts are going to either draft or trade for a quarterback. I would be really, really excited because I think the Colts are a super talented team. You look at that defense, they're a top 5 level unit. You look at the offense, I mean, you have a great wide receiver. You have players like Michael Pittman. And, of course, you have Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, a top 3 running back in the NFL very, very easily. Only coming off of his second year. So, man, it should be really interesting to see what the Indianapolis Colts are going to do with their quarterback situation. Now, for our last transaction of the video, as you may know, I told you guys at the beginning of this video, this was not the only splash that the Chargers would make. Just hours before the recording of this video, Khalil Mack was traded to the LA Chargers. Khalil Mack is all out a superstar, and are Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa the best pass rush duo in the NFL? Man, oh man. Oh man, the Chargers decided that Russell Wilson is here, we have Derek Carr that's here, we have Patrick Mahomes all in our division. Let's go get a pass rusher. And that's exactly what they did. Khalil Mack, while he's not as effective as he used to be, he's older now in his career, he's still very, very good. And giving defenses the ability to have these 2 pass rushers and offenses of getting the choice and having to pick a choice on who to double team and who to single team and who to possibly triple team. It's going to be really, really interesting watching Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa wreck the entire league for 17 games next season. The Chargers look bound on contending. They finally have a very, very solid pass rush. I think it's going to be one of the better pass rushers in the league, especially off the edge. And also, they really, really don't have a lot of weaknesses. The offensive line could use a little work, but Rashawn Slater, a rookie, had a very, very, very great year last season in his rookie year. So I definitely think the Chargers are really, really building up. This whole AFC West is going to be one of the best divisions to watch in football next year. Mark my words. As far as the Chicago Bears go, they look like they're going for a more younger set. They're going for a younger team. Of course, Justin Fields being the star quarterback out there, they think and they have a huge belief that Justin Fields is going to be that guy, that he's going to be their next superstar. I would not revolt that at all. I think Justin Fields is a super talented quarterback. I'm really, really interested and excited to see what both the Chargers and the Bears could possibly do next season. But, of course, that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, all those links will be in the description. Please, please, I encourage you to subscribe and follow. But whether you do or not, I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you stay loved and stay blessed. And without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching.
Wanna be rappers, brag about already being the best. I respect many people for the job they've done. Haters full of jealousy is what I like especially. I like a lot of funky men that lack finesse. Wanna be rappers, brag about already being the best. I respect many people for the job they've done. Haters full